the rate and frequency and the scale at which people are killed in this country, it's very evident that there are more firearms and weapons in this country than we have tractors. Proliferation of arms is central and key to stabilizing the security situation in Nigeria. I have had suggestions and views on inviting service chiefs and security personnel to come here and brief us on the issue of firearms. But no matter how many of them we invite here, the central issue is that the political class are complicit in the proliferation of arms in Nigeria. It is not possible for our security agencies to bring an end to the violence, the killings, the bloodshed, and the proliferation of arms in this country as long as the political class include violence as part of their strategy to retain political power or to assume public office. Mr. President, we are becoming an AK47 nation. People are killed every day. Our country is becoming a failed state. From Benue to Zamfara to Kaduna to Taraba, we seem to have become hopeless and helpless while thousands of innocent people are dying. Mr. President, it is of concern to each and every Nigerian today that the Nigerian state is failing. It's failing in the very sense that people, poor people from rural areas and isolated villages are killed, and all we can do is to condole, to condemn, to deliberate, to discuss, to offer 1 minute silence, and then the cycle continues. We must not deceive ourselves. The level of arms in this country, the scale of arms in this country, has the capability and the capacity to bring an end to our nation as a republic. The motion before us here brings to spotlight the reality of Nigeria today. But it also should touch our conscience that we must move fast to rescue the drift. Like I've said consistently, there is a limit to what the security agencies can do in a political atmosphere where even people in the position of power are openly advocating and canvassing for violence. You hardly in this country today have a politician that don't have a reserve of armed talks to his services, to which he deploys during congresses and during primary elections and general elections. I think we should tell ourselves the truth and the bitter truth, that until and unless we have a new national political reorientation, where people should not see politics as a do-or-die affair, but should see it as an opportunity to serve people. We have seen violence in the Northeast, and it is all about proliferation of arms. We have seen violence in North Central, it's all about proliferation of arms. And we have seen theories and conjectures and hypotheses saying all these arms come from Libya. What happens to our border guards? What happened to our military? What happened to our customs? What happened to our immigration? What happens to billions of naira we spend to protect and defend our borders? It is unfortunate that we are moving towards the 2019 election, and the signpost and the handwriting on the wall is very clear. People are adopting the art of violence to retain their office and assume office. We have a duty here as a parliament to bring out laws and to bring people in the executive arms to account on the issue of proliferation of arms. But the fundamental issue is this: Our political orientation and culture is one that promotes, that aids, abates, and encourages violence. Political parties in Nigeria were not founded on any ideology. They were founded as a vehicle for assuming political offices, and they are prepared to do so by all means. Violence is not simply about the headsmen and the insurgents, but we have seen an institutionalized adoption and adaptation of violence as a policy and as a strategy of people in the position of power. Mr. President, as important as this motion is, what is most important is that we should change our ways and see politics as an opportunity to serve, and not in which we will simply be in power by force. When people are up there and they feel they control the machinery of the state and they can use violence to persecute or to unleash evil against others, all they are doing is teaching people on the ground that violence is the only way for prominence and for relevance in the society. What we are seeing today as proliferation of arms and violence is not a cause, but it's an effect of a system that has failed and that has collapsed, and that we are unable to, over the years, to put it back in order. Our people are becoming helpless and desperate. A system that impoverishes everybody, a system that marginalizes everybody, a system that continuously pushes people to pick up arms as a way of survival. We teach as political role players. The political class teach the people to use violence. You bring them in. You can see it is everywhere on the pages of newspapers and online. We have even seen violence in this very hall here, and nothing was done about it. So what are you inviting the military chiefs or the IG to come and do when you can see it openly from the top rank of the political level to down? Violence is now being inculcated as part of a political strategy and culture. What can you do about it? The way forward is very simple. And that way is for us in every possible way to change our political orientation from top to down. It does not matter who is in office, as long as we have violence and people in the position of power are condoling it from the top to down, then all that we will do is to invite them and listen to their own narratives, and we will do nothing about it. Just some few days ago, people were killed in Birnin-Gwari local government. And this is a continuous process. Even the army has decided to withdraw from that local government because they don't have enough firepower to confront, whether you call them herdsmen or bandits, but it's the situation we have on the ground today. There are more sophisticated arms in the hands of anonymous people than we have in stock as a state. Thank you very much.
Senator Samegu.